Welcome to my garage. So I started working today. I got started a little bit on it, I'm not gonna lie, before I stopped and was like, this is a good opportunity to practice maybe making something to throw up on YouTube. So grabbed the GoPro maybe a third of the way through my job already, but better late than never as I get my fingers in the shot. What I'm doing today, basically, the car's been sitting for a while and a few maintenance items, suspension's getting rebuilt, we're remaking some oil lines that got burnt. And while it's sitting, I figured I should have my injectors service because they've ran for a whole season running ethanol through them, so it's probably smart to get them cleaned out. Went to a local place here, AUS Injection. Got them back recently. They look perfect and clean. So today, I'm in the process of getting these back in the intake manifold. But the intake manifold is a little bit dirty and not ready to just receive the injectors right back into them as I took it out, because it's a two-piece intake manifold, right? So bottom piece, top piece sandwiched together, and there's seals that seal the two pieces, and those seals include for where the O-ring or the injectors sit. There's O-rings in there, and as I take the injectors out, as you can see, this one, the O-rings kind of break. So I got a new seal kit for this, which I threw somewhere. Yes, so I got this new seal kit from MSD for this intake manifold that includes the seal that runs all the way around and seals all the injector ports. So I'm gonna split this manifold and throw the seal in there, and then put the injectors in, and then put it all back together. So before I grabbed the GoPro and before I started this, I got this far. I got the manifold off and I started pulling all of the fasteners, which normally go in these holes, all the way around, and I pulled the three off the top. So now it's ready to split. So let's continue. Alright, so look at this. I got both my hands free because of this neat head strap that's holding my camera on it, which looks ridiculous if you were here hanging out with me, but you can't see it behind the camera, so it doesn't look ridiculous to you. Hey, traffic. Everyone speeds up and down this street, dude. It's so annoying. Anyway, I've never had this intake manifold apart before, so we're gonna see this for the first time together. Ready? Damn. Okay. So there you have it. Basically a big old hood that covers up all the magic. So, set that down gently. So what I see here is, this is the seal that I'm going to be replacing that runs all around the perimeter and has provisions for the injectors. And so this makes it so that obviously there's no air leakage between the two pieces of the intake manifold. And another thing I'm noticing is this gasket surface was assembled with like some Vaseline looking stuff. So it was assembled kind of wet to help sealing. So I'm going to try to do that when I put the new one in. I'm going to clean this all out, and then I'm going to apply some grease. I'm sure I have something that kind of works the same. So let's peel. Hopefully this is as satisfying as I hope it is to take this off. Oh yeah, that feels good. So satisfying. All the way around. Boom. Man, this is just so interesting, like, so wild. So obviously, air comes in through the throttle body, through that plate, and just kind of has this whole area to hang out in before it gets sucked down one of these trumpets into the intake manifold. This is pretty cool, like, I like it. Okay, so I cleaned out the crevice where the seal sits, and obviously I'm glad I did that because you can see all the crud that was in there that these Q-tips picked up. That's gross. now this is all clean, we can unpack the new seal and kind of feed it in there gently. Okay, there it is. I'm sure that looked really easy and fast, sped up, but I hated it. Cool, so that's in. I'm probably gonna dry up some of these bigger puddles of like condensation and then slap this back together and yeah, get these injectors in. Back together. You know what? Not back together. I'm gonna clean all this shit before I put it back together, because if I clean it after it's back together, it's just gonna fall in the hole and get on the edges of these nice clean seals. Cleaning first, then back together. I swear I use this waterless wash for everything that I need to clean. Need to clean the car? Waterless wash. Need to clean the intake manifold? Waterless wash. Need to clean my body? Waterless wash, man. Everything. Okay, now we can put it back together. So, let's do that. Okay, those are all tight. This thing is one piece again. Last order of business. Before I put the intake back on, I'd really like to clean off this whole valley area. So I'm probably gonna grab the shop vac, because there's a bunch of like tire debris in here around the head studs and in the crevices and stuff. So I wanna clean it, but I don't wanna risk wiping and then like stuff falling on top of the valves. So I'm gonna suck it. I'm gonna go get the shop vac and suck a bunch of it out and maybe just wipe little bits that are left. The only problem is the shop vac is in the backyard, so I gotta go back there and get it. So I'll be right back. Cool. Okay. Just gonna set that kind of there while I fish this under here. This is the vacuum line for the brake booster, and I keep a lot of slack onto it because the nipple that this attaches to sits like really snug back here up against the firewall, and I can't get this hose off without taking the manifold off. So I give it a lot of slack so I can pull the manifold away and then undo the hose and just have room to work with it, you know. But I fish it back here and underneath the brake booster like this and up, and it'll attach to this like that. So I don't know, I'm not saying it's like really pretty, but it works. Okay, it's kind of there. That one gets put there. Oh, that's it. I tighten all these guys down and start with the injector stuff. Okay, all these are tightened down. I did like a crisscross star pattern to get an even clamping force. Vacuum lines are all hooked up. We'll run the throttle cable and attach it. Actually, we'll do the fuel stuff first because that has to go under the throttle cable. Okay, so here's our fuel rail. Nice, this is actually the OEM fuel rail. And a lot of people ask me like, yo, if your engine makes 700 horsepower, like why are you running an OEM fuel rail? Because it works. It flows enough. It's fine. So, you know, don't fix it if it's not broke. Only spend your money where you have to. Why am I just spinning around holding this? There. Okay. Injectors. So, yeah, I think I'm going to put the injectors, I'm going to like load the rail and then press the rail onto there. So, let's see how that works. Okay, so I did some Googling and I found a LS1 forum where Fuel Injector Clinic said, just use some dish soap, man. So I'm gonna do that. I've never heard of it. A little bit dish soap, just on the O-ring. And you can use this video as an example of what to do or what not to do in the future for your friends. So let's see what happens. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna work, like to slide them in. I just never thought about anything that's not oil-based, like petroleum oil-based. I just never thought of using anything but that going into anywhere on an engine. But I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. If dish soap dries in time, then it dries. It's fine, I guess. And you just use a little bit. So I don't know. I guess it makes sense. Damn, look how clean these are, man. Like AUS injection, clean these out and flow benched them and everything, and put new O-rings on. And like fresh boys, 660 cc's. Cool. Let's do it. I wish you could feel this. It's really satisfying when these just like, boop, just slide in. All right, so the next part's gonna be a little more tedious when we try to press all of these into the intake manifold at once without like jacking any of them up. So I'm gonna put some soap on each one and then bring this over to the engine and get it in there quick but carefully. Oh wow, you know what? That was way less drama than I thought it would be. That just slid right in, popped in super nice. I felt the little click kind of feeling as they all kind of slide in there. Cool. Well, that was anticlimactic. Just make sure they're all kind of facing correct. Okay. Bolt the fuel rail down, plug them in, and then go on with the throttle cable and connect this feed line back up, and day done. Okay, now that's on, we'll install the map sensor. So, why is the map sensor on this big long tube? This is the factory map sensor, but for some reason we couldn't get this factory one to like register with the Link ECU. I don't know why, that question's not for me, it's for the tuner, but it just like, we could not get it to, they give like a clear signal to the Link. And this one works, but this does not fit in this hole, like the clearance issue with the aftermarket manifold. If we installed this here, it like contacts between here and the edge of the manifold. So what we did, because the connector is already over on this side of the engine for this location, we just ran a vacuum line that goes around here and zip ties to the fuel rail, plugs in on this vacuum port. It does the same thing. It's not the prettiest thing, but it gets us by, you know, it works. I mean, I can't afford to like rebuild half the harness, so that's the story behind this map sensor. Plug this in. Yep, there's the click. And then we run the throttle cable over here. Don't want to forget this too, fuel pressure sensor. V important. There it is. And with that, I believe we're good. I'll just have to zip tie this up, and that's it. Freshly serviced injectors, reinstalled on a freshly resealed manifold. Cool. There's your 700 horsepower Lingenfelter LS7 powered by Dawn dish soap. Simple. I had fun. Hope you had fun. I'm gonna clean all this junk up, and I'm gonna have a beer. Cool. We'll see you on the next video, I guess.